Seoul some year in the 2000s, Yeoksamdong, Gangnam District, on the top floor of a building owned by D Group Lives D1, the strongest ROR team in the world. The entire team had gathered in the training room, all of them buzzing with excitement. They were finally about to face Dex. The 5 versus 1 match began. Let's skip the formalities. We fight at full strength. I'll show you why our team is ranked #1 in the world. The captain lunged at Dex, but lost his arm in a single strike. One of the best esports players on the planet was taken out in a second. No matter, the others thought. Our teammates will fix this. The assassin tried to sneak in from behind, but Dex immediately sent him flying to the respawn point. The remaining trio decided to act together, but while they were still figuring out how to attack, the lone player cut them down in one motion and secured the win. The best team in the world had lost to a single man. So, just, who is this Dex? Who am I anyway? Nothing special, really. My name is Yoonjin Yang. Gamer tags, Dan, Loner, Player, QRT123, and a whole ton of other random strings of characters. The last one became Dex. Truth be told, the protagonist never really cared about his nickname. His goal had always been to reach first place. Today, he'd achieved that in ROR 2, which meant it was time to walk away from the game. Today, he could finally be done with it for good. A day passed. The news of Dex's retirement stunned the public. If anything, it only cemented his reputation as a troll, but the people discussing it online had no idea about the real reason behind it. The world of ordinary video games was in the middle of a crisis, all because of the world's largest company, Argon Electronics. The corporations Argos and Silico had joined forces in the utmost secrecy to create the first fully realized virtual world, one that could only be accessed through a special device. And now the workers had finally arrived at the last address. Right away, though, they were caught off guard by the sight. In front of them, the house was run down and neglected. Could someone who could afford a place like this really live here? And yet, as you might have guessed, this was where our protagonist lived. As a reminder, his name is Yoonjin Yang. He's 20 years old, and he decided to quit every game he was currently playing in order to start a new journey in a different world, not just some ordinary game. So this is Arcadia. Countless games exist out there, and each one's got a ton of hidden stuff stashed away in it. Sometimes it's just a dumb little joke the devs threw in for fun. Other times it's something that actually messes with gameplay in a big way. The second kind people just call secrets or hidden finds, and now control over all of it had quietly been handed over to an AI Alicia. Anything at all for a wanderer from generations yet to come. The virtual reality, which the brain could plug into directly through simulated sensation, created a fully realized world indistinguishable from the device people had dreamed about for years seemed like pure fantasy, but it already exists, and Ji Yang couldn't pass up the chance to experience it. The first thing he heard in Arcadia was a wall of noise, players discussing missions, haggling over trades. Stepping into a quiet corner, our hero, now known as Dex, checked his inventory, and it turned out to be simpler than he expected. But to properly begin, the system demanded he complete a training quest, kill a slime. Sounds easy enough, but in Arcadia, even precise movements are a struggle, which is why players have skills like dash, dodge, and slash. Still, with our hero's talent, taking down this jelly blob is a piece of cake. No bonuses needed. Quest complete. Looks like Yang's getting the hang of this. Alright, next task, he'll probably breeze through that too. Wait, read 100 books? What a ridiculous game. So there he was, holed up in the Edelin library. One of the librarians couldn't help but notice this strange newcomer. He'd been reading for days straight, not just skimming, but actually absorbing every page. When most quest-driven players usually give up after 10 books, tops. Meanwhile, all Yang can think is, stupid game, I'll clear you no matter what. Then suddenly he asks, "Do you have the second volume of this book?" The librarian is stunned. Did he seriously finish the first one already? But why does he suddenly need the sequel? Simple. The first volume mentions something interesting, and Yang wants to know more. And what's that? What interesting things? Well, the book he picked up, A History of Arcadia, mentions the ancient imprint of Edeline, and that part's intriguing. Hearing those three magic words, the girl didn't hesitate and handed Dex the second volume. Read it as much as he wants. Just bring it back. Oh, and thanks. By the way, why does the librarian keep the second volume separate? Because it's a special book, one you can only get by asking for it the right way. But the moment Ji Young's hand touched the cover, the conditions for a secret quest in the beginner village were fulfilled. A test player has been selected. Long ago, there lived a legendary adventurer who once hid a treasure in a lake near Edeline. They say the treasure is just a myth, since no one has ever managed to find it. But the one thing known for certain is what that treasure actually is: the ancient imprint of darkness. According to locals, the legendary adventurer Eziarl hid it somewhere near that lake, and of course, the artifact was never found. So over time, the legend was mostly forgotten. Still, if the lake in question wasn't Edeline's lake but another one nearby, it could only be Irun, since that one sat right by the exit. And that's exactly where Ji Yang headed, except, in such a peaceful spot, there was no sign of any darkness at all, until suddenly the system activated, granting our hero the title of Amin. Main scenario unlocked. Quest rank B+. Find the imprint of darkness. You have found notes indicating the ancient imprint lies within Lake Rune. Verify their authenticity and retrieve the artifact. Wait, what? A quest of that rank in a game that just launched? Even the hardest raids are barely rank C. Well, looks like things are finally about to get interesting. Oh, they'll get interesting, alright? Especially once someone fishes the artifact out from the very bottom. Continuing to explore the area, Dex still couldn't spot anything unusual, which honestly made the whole thing even more suspicious. Wait a second. He hadn't even checked inside the lake itself. Alright, here goes nothing. And just like that, our hero dove straight through the water, only to find something far too deep for an ordinary lake. This wasn't a lake, it was an abyss. Meanwhile, panic broke out across Arcadia's server, and not without reason, because how exactly does a main scenario quest get triggered on a server that's been live for less than a week? According to the report from the Game Quest department, it looks like a player made contact with an item tied directly to the main storyline. Really? And what exactly did he do to shock the system like that? That part's still unknown. Alright then. Someone needs to report the problem to the president immediately and make sure every department confirms they're properly prepared for unexpected situations. How is this even possible? The main scenario was unlocked here just 4 days after launch, while the American server's been dead quiet for 3 months straight. Is it really just because this is the Korean server? Meanwhile, our hero finally resurfaced. Thanks to that bold dive, his swimming skill leveled up to rank B, and his stamina increased by 1. Now he could dive deeper and stay underwater longer. But damn it all the same. Ji Yang had gone down about 200 meters and still hadn't seen the bottom. Maybe I should just give up on this. The game only just launched, and other players are already racing for spots on the leaderboard. So, wasting time leveling up swimming during such a critical period is honestly stupid. And more importantly, the monthly subscription for Dreamers costs $920. Our hero figured he'd cover the cost by selling in-game items, but at this level, finding something worth $1,000 in a month just isn't realistic. Still, this secret quest that fell to Dex, one that no other player even knows exists, that can't be a coincidence. And even if the reward turns out to be worthless, as a hardcore gamer, I just can't bring myself to quit, so I'll do everything I can. Meanwhile, over at the American Select headquarters, shocking news made the president practically jump out of bed. Did I hear that right? The main scenario got unlocked on the Korean server? What does that mean, Jack? And to answer Jenica's question, the system pulled up the main screen. Long story short, a Korean player found an item that unlocked a secret class. And according to Alice's analysis, which Jack managed to dig up, there's a strong chance this item is connected to the main scenario. What now? What's he even talking about? Looking at the response on the screen, the president went cold with dread. That damn lunatic. 10 days later, Ji Yang finally managed to find and retrieve the imprint of darkness from the bottom of the lake. Thanks to that, his old skills leveled up again, and his affinity with water rose by a full 10 points. Now he could dive confidently into the darkest depths. Since the quest was complete, the player was owed a reward. For Ji Yang, that reward was the Necklace of Darkness, an artifact holding ancient imprints within it. So that's it. The necklace is the key. Got it, but should he actually wear it? And why does its description read like a warning? Use the Necklace of Darkness? Without hesitation, our hero hit yes. Are you sure you want to use it? Yeah. When was he ever not sure? Are you absolutely certain? That felt kind of weak. What if he wasn't 100% sure? If you're truly certain, know this. You won't be able to remove the artifact afterward. Give your most precise answer. Well, for God's sake, I already said I want to. Why do you keep asking me? He kept mashing yes like a madman. All right, understood. The mysterious stranger who'd suddenly appeared was now fully convinced of Ji Yang's resolve, but just so we're clear, he did warn him. Now then, let Dex go all out and really let loose, the way a real man does. Wait, what is he even talking about? And who is this guy? But before our hero could say another word, his class had already changed to Bard of Anarchy. The leveling system shut off, replaced by a new stat, Influence. A mission system was added as well, permanently locking this new class to Jiang, and along with it came a brand new quest, real one. If you enjoyed this video, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment telling me what you think about our guy and his decision. See you in the next episode.